Hello party people, it's Niall here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how to follow your heart, how to enhance your intuition, and what it's got to do with making choices and decisions. So this has come up with a few clients in the last week, so I want to talk about it because I think it's a common problem for most people. And in my own life, I always remember watching personal development videos and everyone says follow your heart. All these successful people say follow your heart. And I was like, what is the heart and how do you follow it? And so I did some work around that, and this is what I've come up with. All of us right now are in a choice point somewhere in our lives, whether in a relationship, with your work, with your business. A lot of my clients are people who are working and they're ready to step into their own business, but they don't know what to do, or there's doubt there. There's a choice point somewhere in your life right now. And the way I always define it is you've got two options normally, your head and your heart. And your heart might be called your gut, whatever you want to call it, your body. So whenever you ask yourself your question, what do I want? The first thought that pops in your head is always your heart. It's always your heart. The second thought, the other option, is normally your head, and it's the fear. So what normally happens is when someone asks you, what do you want? You say, I want this, but. You have the thought of what you want, and then all of a sudden the critical voice says in your head, oh yeah, but you might get hurt. And then you get all these pictures of you failing, or your doubt, or rejection, and all these things that are negative. And the critical voice says, oh, you don't want that, you'll get hurt. It says, you want this, and says, and then there's like the easy option, the comfort zone option. And so what often happens is we get stuck in this place where we've got a choice of going with our heart, which is the thing we really want, but all of a sudden when we think about all this negative stuff, we're like, oh, do I really want that? I'm not quite sure. And there's this thing that's easy, and if we just keep drifting through life, we're probably going to end up there anyway, okay? But we don't really want that because it's kind of boring. And so what normally happens is, I've done a video on this before, we get stuck in this middle area here, where we don't really want to go for what we want because it's scary, and we don't really want to go after what our head says because it's kind of boring or doesn't really fire us up. And so we get stuck in this middle area where we don't make any choice at all. And we're just stuck drifting here. And the higher you go, the longer you drift, the higher the stress gets. Because as you get further, the pull gets further and stronger from each side, and the stress gets higher and higher and higher because you don't want to make a decision. When it gets high enough, you will self-sabotage, you will get sick with illness or disease, or you'll have an injury, or something crazy will happen that will force you to make a decision. And deep down, you want that decision to happen. A lot of people in business or in their work, they hate their job and they don't want to make a decision because they're scared of confrontation, or they're scared that if they go out on their own, they'll fail, or whatever else is there. And then they wait until they get fired. They start making purposeful mistakes at work, or turning up late, or doing a crap job. And deep down, they're hoping they get fired, even though that might put them in financial ruin, because they'd rather that and the stress disappears because they're forced to make a choice than to keep going on through here. So what's my advice here? Start making choices, or first start admitting to yourself you're a bit scared. So if you've got a choice in your life right now, think about your options. Normally the very first option that comes to your head is the one you want, and normally it's a scary one. If it wasn't scary, you would already be going after it. Let's be honest here. You would already be going after that thing because that's what you want. But it's a bit scary, so normally we don't go after it. So it's okay not to make a choice because you're too scared. And if you don't trust your intuition enough now, why would you take a massive leap of faith to go after it? Because you don't know. So it's about making little choices in your life that start to follow your heart. And it's when you follow your heart and make decisions and be very conscious about your decision making. Now, I want to give you an example here. With all my weight loss clients, I say to them, you can eat whatever you want. A lot of them have food, a lot of people have food addictions. Even, I have food addiction. When we're stressed, we want to go distract ourselves with food. Most people have this sort of thing. I tell my clients, you can eat whatever you want, but make a very conscious decision. I know I shouldn't eat this, but I'm going to eat it because I want to feel better, or I want to get rid of this sadness, or I want to get rid of this stress, or I want to feel happy, or whatever we think that food's going to give us. And we make a very conscious decision like that, our unconscious records what actually happened. So if half an hour later or an hour later you still feel guilty and terrible, your unconscious makes a record. Oh, you went out to feel better, now you feel worse. You do this over a week or 2 weeks, and your unconscious learns from this. It goes, okay, this food that I think I'm trying to eat to make me feel better is actually making me feel worse, and it stops you wanting it. And this is the same reason I put a food diary out in a video. When we start recording our food and recording how we feel afterwards, energy, mood, hunger, and we start seeing some foods make us feel tired and sluggish and feel crap, all of a sudden our unconscious records, I actually don't want that food so much anymore. Even foods that we love, bread, pasta, if you start recording your energy and your mood and your hunger after you eat and notice you feel crap after certain foods, your unconscious registers, I don't want to feel crap after eating that food. So the food I liked before, now I actually see it as a thing that drains my energy, and you make changes automatically. Food's a very common practice. Everyone understands food, and it's the same for decisions in your life. Start to make little choices, but make very conscious decisions. Or be very honest with yourself. I'm not following that because I'm scared. I'm going to stay here and not make a choice because I'm scared of making that one and I don't want that one. Or I'm going to stay in my comfort zone for now because I'm scared of making that choice. It's cool. Just be honest with yourself. And when you're honest, your unconscious records it. And if you keep getting these signals like you've got to go, you've got to make a decision, after 5 weeks or whatever, you'll say, okay, I've been following this. I still feel crap. Now it's time to make a change. That's when you start to trust your intuition. But make very conscious choices. Even if you don't go after it now, make a conscious choice to stay because you're scared, or because you might fail, or because of all these reasons. That's cool. It's a fine enough reason. At least you're making a choice and a decision, and you learn from a decision. So this video is going long, so I'm going to stop it there. Make choices and you'll learn from them. And as you do, you will begin to trust your intuition and you'll start to realize what your heart is, or what your gut is, or what your body is. You'll start to realize what you really want by making decisions and learning from them. If you choose not to take action, you will not learn anything. You'll keep drifting through life, and you'll get to a point in your life where you're just in this place. You don't even know how you got there. You don't know whose life it is or who it was for, because you never made any choices in your life. And when you never make choices, you don't make any learnings and you don't grow as a person. So make decisions, learn from them, make conscious decisions, and you will start to trust your intuition. That's a long video. Have fun, dudes. Speak soon.